Question of whether or not President Trump can legally deploy the National Guard in Los Angeles is headed to a San Francisco courtroom today. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals will decide if the president overstepped his authority when he sent National Guard troops and Marines to respond to the ICE protests happening in LA. Last week, a judge did rule his actions were illegal, but that decision is on hold while the court hears arguments today. So NewsNation's Alex Caprariello is live in Los Angeles. So Alex, what can you tell us about the judges who will hear those arguments today?
Hey, good afternoon to you, Nicole. A three-judge panel made up of two appointed by President Trump and one appointed by President Biden could decide the fate of the some 4,000 National Guardsmen that are stationed in and around the greater Los Angeles area. Now, the arguments will be the same that we heard just last week at the district court level. Did President Trump exceed his authority when deploying the National Guard into the Golden State without Governor Gavin Newsom's request? Well, the attorneys representing California say yes. They argue the state should have sovereignty and the ability to govern independently without federal interference. They say the National Guard's deployment is harmful, a waste of taxpayer money, and that the Guard members aren't doing anything that local law enforcement can't do on their own. However, the White House says the National Guard is protecting both federal buildings and federal officers, and President Trump should have the power to decide if their deployment can be utilized to protect from the threat of an insurrection. Experts say this is a landmark case that will be studied for years to come.
Whenever the National Guard has been brought into most states, it's usually with the consent of the governor. It's a very rare situation to have a dispute where the governor doesn't want the National Guard brought in and the president does. And so this is a national trend-setting case that will have significant impact, not just for President Trump, but for future presidents. It is a showdown between what are the commander-in-chief's powers, what under the 10th Amendment is left to governor. So it is a big separation of powers issue, a big constitutional showdown that does affect every other state where this potentially could happen, where there could be unrest.
Of course, Los Angeles has been a state of unrest for more than a week now, although the protests have been largely peaceful and have died down significantly in recent days. Regardless, LAPD has made more than 500 arrests since immigration enforcement ramped up in the area at the beginning of this month. Today's hearing in San Francisco scheduled to begin at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. However, it is unlikely that we will actually hear an official decision later today. Nicole?
All right, and Alex, how has this appeals court ruled in high-profile cases before?
So in the past, the appellate court has been primarily liberal-leaning, although that changed when President Trump appointed some 10 different judges, essentially flipping 4 of those seats. So now the balance of power rests at 16-13, with the decisions now leaning more on the conservative end. And as I mentioned at the very beginning here, Nicole, today's 3-judge panel, 2 were appointed by President Trump, 1 was appointed by President Biden.
All right, Nicole. Alex Caprariello, live for us there on the West Coast. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.